Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're continuing our Big 12 football predictions today, and our next team, the Texas Longhorns. So last year, Texas had a roller coaster season. They started off 2-0, had that thrilling double overtime victory over Notre Dame. Everybody thought Texas football was back after that game. I personally did not. But they jumped to number 11 in the rankings after that, started off 2-0, and everybody thought they'd be Big 12 title contenders and could really compete with Oklahoma. Then they dropped 3 straight, including that horrible game against California. It was a shootout, 50-43. The game they probably shouldn't have lost, though, even though it was on the road. And then they were 5-4 with 3 games remaining, so could have gotten to a bowl game. They lost to West Virginia by 4 points, and then they lost to Kansas in overtime by 3 points. And I really think that was the deciding factor in Charlie Strong's firing. That was just you shouldn't lose to Kansas, especially as Texas. They hadn't lost to them in years. So, but now they bring in Tom Herman, one of the best young head coaches in the country. I think it would be up there with him and P.J. Fleck at Minnesota. He returned 17 starters with his Texas team. We know he's going to bring the energy, and I really do think that Texas football is back, or will be back in the next few years, led by Tom Herman. I think he's going to do a great job. So let's take a look and see how they're going to do this season. They opened up against Maryland, a Power 5 opponent, so that's a pretty good first challenge for a first-year head coach at Texas. I think Texas should take this win fairly easily. Maryland is not a bad team. They're also led by DJ Durkin, a younger head coach as well. But I don't think Maryland's going to have enough to go on the road and defeat Texas. They're a very dangerous team at home. We did see that last year when they defeated Notre Dame. Expectations are going to be high. 7 returners on offense, 10 returners on defense. I don't think Maryland stands too much of a chance unless Texas just really slips up, but I don't see that right now. And then San Jose State shouldn't be an issue there. I wouldn't call that a cupcake team because they have been known to pull a few surprises and be somewhat competitive, but I'm not worried about that. I think Texas, led by Shane Buechele and Chris Warren at quarterback and running back, they're going to be dynamic on offense, but I think they'll be more dangerous on defense, and that's what's going to win them a Big 12 championship if they can get there. And then a very intriguing game in the 3rd week of the season at USC. We all remember that classic Rose Bowl game or national championship game when they played Texas and USC. Vince Young was the quarterback at that time, and he defeated the Trojans out at the Rose Bowl and captured Texas's national championship. That was back in January of 2006. This year, it's a completely different story. I think USC should handle the Longhorns. It'll be a close game, I think, for about a half, maybe 3 quarters. But in the end, USC will pull away. I think they're a very dangerous team led by one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Sam Darnold. And I really don't see Texas going on the road and defeating them out west. It's a very tough place to play. And USC, like Texas, has very high expectations this season. But I feel like USC has the more talent. And I think Texas gets a tough loss on the road. But it's against a very good USC team. Nothing like that California loss they had last year. Bye week coming off a loss to USC where they could get beat up a little bit because it's going to be a hard-fought battle. Go to Iowa State on the road, another very tough place to play in the Big 12. But they've also struggled lately. Hopefully Texas won't pull a Kansas because they lost at Kansas last year. I don't think they will. I think they'll take care of Iowa State. Tom Herman is really going to have this team fired up throughout the entire season because he wants to win. We saw what he did at Houston, but now he's at the school that he's always dreamed of coaching, and he's not going to let that slip away and have any disappointing seasons. I think they're going to get a win over Iowa State here. Like I said, very tough place to play on the road, but Texas just has too much talent. And then Kansas State, a team that some people have pegged as a dark horse in the Big 12, and a lot of people are not buying into the hype. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't see them going like spectacular, 10-win, 11-win season, but I do see them playing fairly well. Texas is lucky they get them at home this season, and that's going to be key. Jesse Ertz at Kansas State, a dual-threat quarterback. A lot of people don't like him, don't think he's worth all the hype. I'm very excited to watch him play this season, see how he does. But I think Texas is going to end up having the better offense, and it could come down to defense if this game's a shootout, and Texas does have the advantage there. And I'm going to give them another win. And so right now they're 4-1, 1 win away from matching last year's win total at 5-7. They face Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry, and let me tell you, if Tom Herman wins this game in his first season, he will be like a god down in Texas. Winning the Red River rivalry in your first season as head coach over a very good Oklahoma team led by Baker Mayfield. Oklahoma, I know a lot of people are a little concerned after the Bob Stoops resignation. I don't think they're going to take too much of a step back. Unfortunately for Texas, I am predicting a loss for them in this Red River rivalry against Oklahoma. I think Baker Mayfield and the Sooners are going to be a little too much for them. As I've said before, I know Texas has a very good defense, But I think Oklahoma's going to have a lot to play for at this point in the season. They're still, I think, going to be college football playoff contenders. And right now I'm going to give Texas a loss there. And then they get Oklahoma State. I'm actually predicting an upset in this game. Another one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12, Mason Rudolph of Oklahoma State. That's going to be a really fun one to watch. Last year, it was a little bit of a shootout. Texas did lose that game to Oklahoma State. But Mason Rudolph and James Washington are going to be a very dynamic duo for the Cowboys this season. But with Texas getting them at home this season and with a very experienced defense, I'm going to give them the upset over the Cowboys. I could really see this one happening. It could knock Oklahoma State out of the Big 12 title race, depending on how everybody else does. It's not going to help them any, especially with their playoff hopes, because I know a lot of people had them as a dark horse playoff contender. And then another first-year head coach at Baylor in Matt Rule. So Tom Herman's Matt Rule. This game is at Baylor, a team that also struggled last season. They had high expectations after the whole Art Briles situation. Jim Grobe came in and didn't do a horrible job with Baylor, but I know it's not the season they were hoping for because they had such high expectations. Texas has to travel to Baylor this season. I'm a little concerned about this game, but not too much because I think Baylor will have to rebuild more so than Texas will. And I'm going to give Texas another win over the Bears. Unfortunately for Baylor, they're at 2 losses, and the schedule is starting to get tough. At TCU, at West Virginia, Texas Tech, which has another very dynamic offense. Kansas shouldn't be an issue. I'm already actually just going to mark that down as a win here. A lot of factors point up for Texas in that game. Revenge, experience, everything points towards Texas win, getting them at home. So I'm not really too worried about that. TCU, though, also returned 17 starters, and they're the exact opposite of Texas. They returned 10 on offense and 7 on defense. TCU's offense is going to be extremely explosive this season, a team to watch out for. I think they could be a dark horse Big 12 title contender because they're going to improve a lot from that 6-7 season. And I think Texas is going to go on the road and lose this game. I know it's not a true horrible road game because it's also still in the state of Texas, but with TCU led by Gary Patterson and a very dangerous offense, I don't think Texas is going to be able to go on the road and get the job done at TCU. And then they have to play West Virginia, a team led by Will Greer. I know after I predict this game, a lot of people are going to say I'm high on West Virginia, but I'm not. I just think that with that game being at home late in the season, weather could play a factor out there at West Virginia, weather that Texas is not used to. Will Greer is another good quarterback in this Big 12 this season. And Dana Holgerson is going to do a pretty good job there with the Mountaineers. And I'm going to predict another loss for Texas late in the season against West Virginia. This could be one of those toss-up games, in my opinion. But right now I'm going to give the edge to West Virginia in this one. I really like their quarterback play. I know they're not as experienced as the Longhorns, but I think quarterback play, which would be more experienced, will play a factor here. Will Greer would have that even though he did not play last year. And then Texas Tech, another high-flying offense. Could be another shootout this season. With Texas Tech's offense, but I think Texas' defense is going to be able to take care of the job. They're going to want to finish on a high note, try to improve which bowl they're going to go to, and with it being at home, I think this is actually on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. Texas will get the win over the Red Raiders, which will not help Cliff Kingsbury down at Texas Tech, and that's going to give Texas, in Tom Herman's first year, an 8-4 record, which in my opinion is respectable. Texas is not going to go to the college football playoff in Tom Herman's first year, and I do not think they're going to be in the Big 12 championship in Tom Herman's first year. But an 8-4 record from a team that's gone 5-7 the past 2 years and 6-7 the year before, hasn't won 8 games since I think, what would that be, the 2013 season? This would be a huge improvement for this Texas team, pointing in the right direction. We know Tom Herman, what he's capable of. This would be the year he would need to, maybe go to the Big 12 title game because of all the experience he has, but he's going to get tons of recruits in the years to come. Texas has found their man. An 8-4 record this season is not bad at all. He's going to get them back to a bowl game, which I could see them winning and getting to 9 wins, which would be huge for this Texas program. So keep an eye on the Longhorns this season. They're going to be a really fun team to watch just because of their experience. And I really do love Tom Herman as a head coach because I love what he did at Houston. I think he's going to do the exact same thing here at Texas. So keep an eye on them this season. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and please continue to share our videos. And we'll see you next time on The Gridiron Expert.